Hey guys, I'm here today to show you how to do a shower liner, a waterproof shower liner, if you're going to pour your own custom sized shower pan. So as you can see, we've already insulated our exterior walls, so any wall that's exposed to the outside of the house that needs a buffer area for insulation, we've gone ahead and done that. We had to reinforce our subfloor. We did that. Our drain is in place, and we've placed a couple of 2x6s. I'll show you what those are for a little later. We still have to install the curb along the threshold between the shower and the bathroom floor so water doesn't come out. And that will also give us a nice area on this end to slope our concrete towards the drain to give proper drainage slope, which is 1/4 inch per linear foot. 1/4 inch of rise or fall for every 1 foot of linear travel is what code requires. Depending on your distances, you can get down to as small as 1/8 of an inch per 1 foot of travel. So I'll be back a little bit later to show you guys some more of what I've done and to walk you through how to put in the waterproof shower liner. Putting this curb in right here at the threshold between the shower and the bathroom floor. And I figured I'd put in a little bit of advice here. When you're putting these in, put them in one at a time. Don't stack them all three and try and nail them all with a big long nail. I'm using screws right now, but you can use nails, you can use screws. Attach each one to the floor individually and stack them on top of each other. Your curb only needs to be the height of 3 2x4s. I've got a little trimming work to do over here before that thing fits right. But the height of 3 2x4s, that gives you enough height to run your concrete high enough to get your proper slope, and it gives you what's called the curb, the step over to the bathroom. I'm here laying this shower pan liner at this house, and I wanted to make a couple of notes to you guys. Before you do anything with this thing, dry fit it. Set it in here, kind of fit your corners, wrap it over the curb, see how you're going to lay. Make sure you have enough. Over purchase this stuff, absolutely. Over purchase by a couple of square feet if you need to. I obviously bought more than I did. You can see my overlap, but that's good because you want to run this thing up the wall. That's what these 2x6s are for. They will let it run up the wall and give us something to attach to besides just the studs. I did not do it on that wall, and it's to show you guys the difference between having the 2x6s and not having it. It doesn't make a big difference, but it's structural, it's integrity. So my drain is still in here. I haven't cut the drain out yet. I'll do that. It's one of the last things I'll do, and I'll show you how to do that to ensure that this thing is waterproof and you don't damage your subfloor. One more side note before I cut this video off: do not ever cut this thing when you're doing your corners. Don't cut it. It's a big mistake. If water does get behind your tile, water's getting under this liner if you cut it. So I'll show you how to properly flash these corners and get you guys on your way to your own custom shower. Debris out of there, so I just knocked a bunch of stuff down here. Get it out. Try not to climb in here, you don't want to damage your drain. But you're gonna put this thing up and you're dry fitting it. So you see I just folded that edge and folded this edge over. Just make sure, let's shift this way a little bit. That's about even. Not like it matters, but you want to make sure you come up about 6-8 inches. This also is just about the height of the actual curve, so our 3 2x4s stacked on top of each other. So when I said to flash this stuff, this will be attached to this wall like this, and all this extra flap here has nowhere to go. So you can set it up like that and then continue the line. As long as this line stays relatively straight, you're okay. You can roll it the other way and put the seam on this side. What I would caution with this is if water does get behind your tile, it's going to pile into here and it's going to eventually get behind this liner. So I would caution you against that. Oh, there we go. Put it behind. Watch out for your drain if you're going to get in here. So we put all the extra behind our liner, pull it nice and straight. That way if water does get behind here, it's going to go down hit the corner, and come right back out and down to our drain. It's not going to get behind our liner. That's the worst thing. That's the last thing you want to do to your brand new bathroom, is ruin it with water because you just didn't do it right. So you're going to need yourself a staple gun, a good utility knife with a brand new blade, because it's important to make these cuts as straight as possible. Keep your sharp stuff closed and keep it off this liner. If it doesn't need to be on it, don't get on it. Punctures in this thing make it worthless. You can patch over those with little chunks and PVC glue. Good pair of scissors. You can use your kitchen ones, but they're not nearly as strong nor as sharp as these. So we've got that pretty well dry fitted. I'm not going to put staples in it yet. I'm going to go around and do this to every single corner. Just to make sure that we are good. Alright, so I'm comfortable now with how that's laying and with how much extra I've got on that side of me, that I will go ahead and attach this. Make sure you're all the way down. We're not going to put any staples in the floor of this thing, just in the wall. And we're only going to use a few. We don't need to put a bunch up. We just need this thing to hold itself in place. Make it as flat as possible. When you go to put your wall boards up, any ripples in this, any big bulges in this are going to show in your wall board, and it's not going to look pretty. It's going to affect your tile, which is going to affect your finished look. Take your time in the beginning, and it will affect and make your outcome that much better. So, what's the saying? Smooth is slow. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. That's what it is. Sorry guys, I'm getting over a cold. My brain doesn't think right now. So you see all this excess is here? I'll show you what that looks like on this side here in a minute. Find our stud. Make sure it's flat. Make sure we're pulling as much of this slack as possible, but we don't want all these ripples, so we'll pull up a little bit. Start at the bottom. I'm not going all the way to the bottom. I'm not hitting that footer board from our studs. I'm coming a couple inches above it. Very nice. I'm very happy with that. Oops, I'm out of bullets. Before you get too far with this pan liner, don't forget to pull your drain out. There are 4 little 7/16 inch screws there, so I just use a ratchet. You can use an adjustable, but it just, see, little keyholes. Get your razor knife for this. It's important that you have a brand new blade. Ugh. I'm gonna lay this over. We can feel everything. Screw, 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 drain hole. I'm gonna pull this thing tight as if we have already attached it to our curb and to our walls. X's are gonna be your favorite letter right now. Find the top of a screw. Smaller than the screw head. Make an X. Now, force these around. But tiny little X's with our razor knife to go right over these screw heads, and we are forcing them down. We're forcing these things around. That helps with some of the waterproofing. That one's not quite big enough. Be careful not to make these too big, but it is obviously possible to make them too small. There's that one. That one missed a cut. Every time I'm putting my knife down, I'm putting it outside of the curb. You don't see me putting it down on top of this stuff. I don't want to cut this stuff any more than I already had to. Water and holes are not good. Okay. And there's the last one. We're going to bring these up some. Oops, that one came out. Make sure they don't come out. If they do, put them back in. Okay. Now you can obviously see an X here. So go from screw to screw, screw to screw. Again, smaller than the hole, but that's going to make the hole for our drain so that our drain will fit in our drain. See, it opens it up, but it flanges all of this stuff inside. So if any water does get on top of this, underneath the concrete, underneath the tile, it is still going to drain into the drain. Proper flashing is everything with water, guys. It's very, very important. So again, we're going to kind of force this thing in here. Give it a twist. And tighten it down. Now, our liner runs underneath our drain flange, and if you look, you can see our liner down in our drain. So, again, if any water does get underneath our tile, underneath our wallboard, underneath our tile, or underneath our concrete, it's going to drain, drain, drain underneath our flange and back into the... Alright guys, so when you get to this curb side, it gets a little tricky. Don't try to wrap the curb before you finish your corner. You'll end up messing yourself up, and this is a point where you will cut it. When you start to do this curb, you'll end up slicing this just a little bit. Again, not before you finish your corners. Proper flashing, stand it up the wall. Oh, so you see the 2x6, it'll give me something to attach to here too, instead of just that little bit of stud. I did it here, I did it on this other back wall. Come across the top of that 2x6. Just a couple again. We're not going too low with it. Over into this corner. All right. So lay the face of that, or this inside bit of that curb, lay it. Go ahead and staple that in place. Throw just a few in again. No need to go crazy. It just needs to be held in place. All right. now that that's done, you take your scissors or you take your razor knife. I like my razor knife for this part because I can follow up something really easily. See your line, see your line. Cut it so that there is a little bit of excess, again, to kind of go up the wall just a bit, not a lot. Stand it back up. A little bit of overlap. Lay it down. Cut off your extras from those little tails. Again, any extra, any bulges, get them out of there, or you'll see it in your finished work. Okay. Nice and smooth. Wrap it. It doesn't have to go all the way down this curb. I like to bring it all the way down, and I got lucky this time, and it's hitting the floor perfect. I'll have a little bit of trim off to do in a little bit area over there. So we stapled this face already. Now we're gonna hold it, pull it, whatever you gotta do to get it nice and tight, nice and taut. Again, we're not putting a whole mess of staples in here. There's no need to, it just needs to be held in place. Because our wall board will go here too. And I have been using Wonder Board, 1/4 inch. So I'll end up shimming this side out a little bit because this is 1/2 inch drywall. Alright, and then go to the bottom of this one. It's outside this space. Because it's the end of it. And you need that to be held down. Trim off any extra.